Right now at noon, an area blood center stresses the critical need for blood donations.
And we've had a couple of pop-up showers, even a thunderstorm already today. A couple of additional isolated showers still possible. We'll look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, Pittsburgh city officials discussed the development of a new bar in Pittsburgh after approving an $80,000 loan for the project.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Miami, Oklahoma is hiring an independent investigator to look into allegations of misconduct against Police Chief Thomas Hightower Anderson. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. The city didn't provide details about the allegations, simply saying they were personnel matters. They also say the investigator will conduct a full, fair, and competent investigation. Chief Anderson has been placed on paid administrative leave until the investigation is concluded. Well, Joplin authorities responded to a gas leak yesterday on South Joplin Avenue. According to the JPD, sometime early yesterday morning or Tuesday night, a vehicle struck a gas meter, shearing it off. Authorities call it a hit and run due to the property damage. At one point, police shut down a 2-block radius to all traffic due to the significance of the leak. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we are warm, we are muggy, we are hazy across the region this afternoon. We've had a couple isolated showers out there. Quick look from MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. Again, a little bit hazy. You can kind of see that from our camera as well on top of the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin. You see those clouds off in the distance? Well, we had a couple of those showers flare up earlier today. And the KDOT camera, 69 in Kansas Crossing, just south of Pittsburgh. Sunshine out there, but haze. So here's a look at where we stand right now. Just some isolated showers stretching from Oklahoma back up into southwestern Missouri, but earlier they flared up a bit. We had some lightning, nothing strong, nothing severe, of course, but we did get a couple of thunderstorms out of this activity, and that'll be the case for us as we go through the rest of the afternoon through about 6-7 o'clock tonight. Started yesterday almost at normal. We made it up to normal, but the issue that we've been facing is the humidity and dew point levels. Temperatures right now, not bad. 87 Joplin, 85 in Pittsburgh. A little further to the west, it's a little warmer. We've got the low 90s out there. Where we had those little flare-ups, we've got a little cooler temperatures around the Fort Scott area into the mid to upper 70s. However, the heat index values are what are getting nasty. It's already in the low 90s for many of us. We're going to stay mild through the evening, and we'll have those partly cloudy skies. And we've got more of these isolated storms tomorrow and then dangerous heat down the road. We'll take a look at all that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. The Vernon County Clerk's Office is holding a forum for the 2024 sheriff's candidates. The forum will be today at the Franklin P. Norman Community Center in Nevada, Missouri. It's a chance for the public to meet and socialize with the candidates and participate in a formal question and answer discussion ahead of the August 6th election. Tonight's event will be from 6 to 7 p.m. The city of Joplin wants residents to know mosquito fogging will begin soon. The scheduled fogging will take place tomorrow, and the Joplin Health Department will fog early in the morning. If you would like to add your property to the fogging route or to view the entire route, you can head on over to KOAMnewsnow.com, where we've provided the necessary links. The city of Pittsburgh agrees to match 10% of the total cost to help expand a local business. The Blue Spoon has its eyes set on a new location they hope to turn into a speakeasy style bar and entertainment venue. The location selected is on West 4th Street at the old Spicer Adams building. The project represents a total of an $800,000 investment, and the city, which has agreed to match 10% of the cost through a grant, would pay $80,000.
We have about $1 million a year through our sales tax to help incentivize businesses to grow, to start new, and so that's how that's used. It complements our existing 50/50 sidewalk program. We always help with running utilities to the property lines, but this is actually for acquisition and development. A lot of times it happens to older buildings.
Blue Spoon says they still have financial investments that need to be secured before the project starts. However, the project is expected to be complete this coming March. The Community Blood Center of the Ozarks is in dire need for blood donors. According to the center's website, over 60,000 donations of blood are required each year to supply people with transfusions. CBCO says they are down to a historically low supply of blood, the lowest in the past 2 years. Donating blood is a life-saving act in many cases, but the changing seasons can have an effect on amounts of blood stored.
I like what the Blood Center does. They give them a chance to thank the donor. So it's thankthedonor.org, and we give them that piece of paper and ask them if they would like to thank the donor. And it puts a smile on their face because they're able to say to the actual donor how much it means to them.
Some ways you can help are by attending local blood drives and donating a pint of blood. Individuals with rare blood types are highly encouraged to donate for other rare blood types in need. Well, a new turn in the battle to get trash picked up in parts of southwest Missouri. Frustration from cards customers has gone on for months now. In the past few days, several customers say they haven't had trash picked up for weeks. Adam Woodbray reports on a young man working on a solution for his neighbors in Wright County.
He's just trying his best and he's working really hard. And
trash building up on the curb.
He's very genuine in his desires to help the community.
That's the reality for many in Wright County.
Yep. This is how the old trash company started out, so I decided to do the same thing.
A reality Farmer Deckard is working to change. Many in his community say they're fed up with Cards Recycling not picking up their trash.
They started out decent for our place. They would come, they may be a day or two late, but the last 3 months, they show up maybe once a month. They ain't showed up for a month now.
Justin Dedman is one of many card customers who reached out to KY3 News, hoping we could find some answers after his questions went unanswered. He says he prepaid for 3 months of trash pickup, and when cards didn't pick up, he tried to cancel.
Card said, yeah, you can cancel, but we're not giving your year money back.
KY3 has been covering cards for months. Complaint after complaint about trash not getting picked up. Calls unanswered, promises to pick it up not kept, and no refunds. We didn't get a call back from them today about the new complaints, but a company spokesperson told KY3 back in April he didn't think they would fall behind again and promised refunds on a case-by-case basis.
What we're really working towards getting finished by this Saturday and making sure, and it might run a little bit over into that Sunday morning. I don't believe it will, but I can confidently say that starting Monday, we'll be back to regular schedule.
Well, no one was happy with cards, so I just thought, well, heck, go ahead and try doing it. See what happens.
That's where Farmer has now stepped in. He set up shop and began loading the cards customers' trash into his trailer. Since then, Farmer has been picking up trash, and word around the community is spreading.
My little brother, he told me that, hey, if you need help, Farmer said he started picking up trash. So I called Farmer yesterday, and he'll be out here Monday to start picking my trash up.
Many are now paying him for their trash service.
What do you feel like you've gotten out of doing this?
Just helping the community. Out doing it is what I look at it. Helping them.
If you're still having issues with your trash and can't get answers, you can always report businesses to the Better Business Bureau and the Attorney General's office.
Coming up in a historic address, President Biden explains why he left the race as his vice president and predecessor begin battling for votes. And later, we're making fried cheese curds in the Mr. Food test kitchens. The likely Democratic presidential nominee is back on the campaign trail today. Last night, former President Trump went on the attack against Vice President Harris, while President Biden laid out his reasons for dropping his bid for re-election. Natalie Brand reports from Washington, D.C.
My fellow Americans.
In his Oval Office address, President Biden says it's time to pass the torch, saying Vice President Kamala Harris is the clear choice to take the job.
She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable.
The president spoke for just 11 minutes, but called on Americans to preserve democracy. He said he reveres his job, but loves his nation more.
You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
He also outlined goals for his final 6 months in office.
They'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose.
Vice President Harris watched the speech from the campaign trail. Today, she's speaking at a teachers' convention in Houston.
We have a new victim to defeat, Lion Kamala Harris.
In his first campaign rally since President Biden stepped aside, former President Trump went after his likely opponent's record.
Lion Kamala Harris has been the ultra-liberal driving force behind every single Biden catastrophe. She is a radical left lunatic who will destroy our country.
As Trump steps up his attacks of Harris and her record in California, the vice president Thursday released her first campaign video called We Choose Freedom. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
We're at the fair today, eating our way from one end of it to the other. So join us as we sink our teeth into a Midwest specialty.
And it's going to be heating up as we head into the next work week, but not before a few more isolated shower and storm chances. We'll look at all that in the forecast coming up. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we talked about, as we've seen the last few days, those isolated showers and storms. And well, we've seen some already. They started a little earlier this morning, and they're starting to die back out, but we still have that chance of seeing a few more. So, Skywatch Storm Tracker, if you look close enough, we got a few showers stretching down into Craig County, and then we've got some stretching back up little bits into Crawford County, Bourbon County, and back up north of Nevada. So earlier, though, we actually had thunderstorm activity. It was short-lived. That's why these things are just flare-ups. That's all they do is they show up for a little bit, then they start to die out. Near Fort Scott, though, we had one that came through, nothing major, and then it died, and another one formed behind it, but now it has died. Same almost situation near Nevada. We had this cell come through, it kind of died out, another one got going behind it, but it kind of died out. That's the nature of pop-up storms. As we go into the rest of the afternoon, we're going to see that opportunity continue across the region. So we'll have a fair shot here, there. Most of us, though, as we're seeing right now, too, are going to remain dry. We head into our Friday. It's the same situation. We'll have some isolated showers and storms. The majority of us, though, will remain dry. But as we go into the afternoon, here they come, here and there, but not quite everywhere. And as we go into our Saturday, though, some new model data's come in. So we'll see exactly how this pans out. We're still looking at those isolated pop-up storms, but new data coming in on the future track here is suggesting that maybe we'll get a few additional meaningful thunderstorms, not severe, but bringing some actual decent rainfall. Right now, by the afternoon, it looks to stay on the Missouri side of things with some of the heavier rain, but nonetheless, we'll definitely take rain any way we can get it, and that's going to be a lot better than those isolated storms we've been seeing the last couple of days because we still need some rain across the area. We got those partly cloudy skies in Joplin, hazy, muggy, 87, dew points up to 70, making it feel like 92. Heading over to Pittsburgh, it is the same situation, 87 there, dew points at 67, feels like 89, still a bit sticky. And as we look at temperatures around the area, so again, Fort Scott got some rain earlier, starting to warm back up, but they're the cool spot at 77. Everyone else, upper 80s and getting into some low 90s here and there. And then you factor in the dew point and the humidity, and it gets a little uncomfortable, especially the further south and west you go. We've got some mid-upper 90s. The rest of us starting to see upper 80s, low 90s, and that's going to be the expectation for heat index values through today. Most of us mid, maybe some upper 90s, so certainly uncomfortable. Low 90s again today for most of us on the high. East breeze occasionally around 5 to 10. We'll have a few clouds as we go overnight, falling back into the low 70s out there, so around normal temperatures. And believe it or not, a pinch below normal tomorrow. We should be about 90, 91. We're going to be 89. We'll have that chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms. And again, that continues into Saturday with a slightly better chance for an isolated shower or storm on Saturday. But also because of all the extra cloud cover, even if we don't see rain, it's going to be a little cooler, a little bit more below normal as we go into the mid-80s. But that is very short-lived. We start heading into next week, maybe a pop-up storm on Monday. And then we go back to seeing that risk for dangerous heat across the area, highs into the lower 100s, and we're looking at those heat index values next week. Could be 105 or greater. So I know we've enjoyed the below normal temperatures, yes, but we got to get ready. The heat is on once again.
It is. It is. All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making fried cheese curds in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Howard is continuing his tour of fairs across the country. Today, he's sharing his recipe for fried cheese curds in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
When we think of fair foods, we usually think of the classics. You know, funnel cakes, foot-long hot dogs, and of course, cotton candy. But these days, we have so many more options. That's why this week, we're exploring all kinds of fair foods. And today, we're highlighting a staple that's popular at fairs throughout the Midwest. It's deep-fried cheese curds. And in case you're not familiar with cheese curds, they're a byproduct formed during the cheese-making process. Curds are like cheese, yet a bit rubbery, and they sort of squeak when you bite into them. At the Minnesota State Fair, they've been enjoying these golden nuggets of goodness for over 40 years. To make them, all we do is soak cheese curds in a mixture of buttermilk and beer for a bit before we drain them and toss them in seasoned flour. Then we'll deep fry them until they're golden. Let me tell you, these babies are hard to resist with their crispy coating and their ooey gooey center. These are not to be missed. And for those of you who can't wait for the fair or just want to make these tonight, we have an easy recipe for you. To get it, all you have to do is go to our website and search for fried cheese curds. I know you'll be glad you did. You know, I love the fair and all the food that comes with it. Once I polish these off, I'm gonna check out a few more rides. I'm Howard from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, and I'm having a blast, cause everywhere I turn, there's lots more. Ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe online at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so some isolated showers, thunderstorms as we head through the afternoon, early evening hours today and tomorrow. Maybe a couple of additional organized storms for us on Saturday. And then as we head into next week, again, the dangerous heat returns. Temperatures lower 100s, heat index values likely to exceed 105. So make sure you're ready. Because like I said, I know we've been spoiled the last couple of weeks.
We
Had
have.
a pretty cool July, so.
The dangerous heat is back.
It is indeed.
Alrighty. Thanks, Chris. Well, coming up tonight at 5, as those scorching temperatures return, it's crucial to take precautions to avoid sunburns while spending time outdoors. We're going to have some tips on how to treat sunburns if you end up getting too much sun. Plus, Nevada is looking to impose a city sales tax for general municipal purposes. We're going to take a look at the tax question on the August 6th ballot. And an organization in Joplin is looking to help the homeless by connecting them to life-changing resources. You can join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. That's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.